Okay, so for question 2C, this production question is essentially asking about a blank MIDI file, and what your role is to assign the right sounds to this. As this is a drum file, obviously what you're going to be doing is using short samples for your drums. Now, I do want to make this abundantly clear. It does say in the instructions an electronic drum kit, so don't choose any acoustic instruments. If it's sort of a gray area, make sure that it's a 100% like a 909 or another type of electronic drum kit. Once you drag and drop your MIDI file into Ableton, just be aware that a window will pop up asking you to import any sort of like tempo data. I always say no. If you say yes, don't panic about it. So as you can see here on my track, I've got my drums in here, and all I'm going to do is go into my drum area on the left hand side in Ableton, and I'm simply going to drag and drop this drum rack onto my MIDI track. What that will do is it will create this little box down here of a drum rack. Notice how I've already got my sounds in there, but yours will be blank, and all you're going to do is simply go into the search function up here, and you're going to type in kick, for example, and by doing that you're going to have the options under character for different types of sounds. And again, what you're trying to do is get like an electronic sound on this. So just go through all these and get a sound that you think is going to be appropriate for this song. Drag and drop this into the first box on the very bottom of the drum rack. Now, I usually do this in order of a horizontal approach. So always do your kick drum first, and then your snare drum, close hi-hat, open hi-hat, and then finally your crash. Be aware about how these are going to sound together as well, because what you don't want is one of your samples to sound a little bit different from the rest of them. If they do, in Ableton, all you have to do is hover your mouse over one of the samples, and what you'll see is this little arrow thing here. This will allow you to swap out any one of those sounds, which you can do quite easily. Okay, so essentially now that you've got this drum rack in there and you've got all your samples in there, you're going to double click and open up the MIDI editor. Now within this, I've already got my notes to the right sounds in here, and all you have to do really is to work out which sounds go where. It's a bit like a puzzle. I'm going to zoom in to bar number 2, where your beats will start. Now 9 out of 10 times what will happen is on the first beat, this is going to be your kick drum. So what I did is I clicked on my note and I just moved my arrows all the way down to where my kick drum was. By clicking on your notes, that will highlight all those notes on that sound, and then you can move those up or down. 9 out of 10 times your second and fourth beats were more than likely going to be a snare drum or a backbeat. So again, all I did is I clicked on this note, which will highlight all of them, and then with my arrows I move these up or down onto my snare drum. And essentially what I did is I just kept doing that until I got a sound that was appropriate. That essentially is going to be this. It's a really simple question. What you might also want to do is just make sure that this drum part here is going to sound good with your bass part of track 1.